Hello, and welcome to the League of Women Voters of Dearborn Heights Candidate Forum for the August 3rd primary election. This is the forum for candidates running for the office of mayor of the city of Dearborn Heights. My name is Jennifer Oliver, and I am the president of the local league. This program is presented and produced as a public service by the League of Women Voters, a nonpartisan national organization that encourages the informed and active participation of citizens in government. The League never supports or opposes candidates or political parties. Membership is open to everyone aged 16 years or older. Following next month's election, 2 candidates will proceed to the general election in November. For written information about the candidates, please visit the League's online voter guide at vote411.org or download a printable copy of the League's voter guide from our website, LWV-DDH.org. Print copies of the voter guide are also available at the clerk's office and libraries. Normally, we would hold a live public forum. However, due to the ever-changing restrictions related to the COVID-19 pandemic, tonight's forum is being held virtually. We and the candidates are interacting tonight through the Zoom platform, and the recording that you are watching has been released in its entirety. We encourage every eligible voter to inform themselves and to vote on August 3rd. Although all local precincts will be open on election day, please contact your city clerk's office for an absentee ballot if you prefer to use that option. Now, I am delighted to introduce the moderator of tonight's forum, Lorelei Muniz, a member of our local League of Women Voters. Lorelei?
Thank you, Jen. Today is Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. We are recording this program in its entirety via the Zoom platform. As always, the League of Women Voters is not responsible for the views expressed by the candidates. The candidates have agreed to the following. The first candidate to speak has been determined by alphabetical order. Thereafter, the order of responses will be rotated. Each candidate will have 1 minute to make an opening statement and 1 minute to answer each question. We will end with each candidate having 2 minutes to make a final statement. The timekeeper is a league member and will indicate when 10 seconds is left, and will make a signal to say stop and notify the candidates when their time expires. The questions include both those developed by the league and those solicited from the community prior to the forum. All questions have been screened to prevent duplication and personal attacks, and to ensure that questions address each candidate. Time will not allow for all questions to be asked, and we encourage you to contact the candidates directly if your question is not answered. Contact information is available online at vote411.org. So let us begin. The 3 candidates' names that will be on the August 3rd primary election ballot for the office of mayor of the city of Dearborn Heights. You may vote for 1 candidate in this race. Their names in alphabetical order are Bill Bazzi, Anthony Camilleri, Denise Malinowski Maxwell. Mr. Camilleri had a medical emergency tonight and is deeply regretful that he could not make it. So the 2 remaining candidates have been asked to make a 1 minute opening statement, and we'll begin with Mr. Bazzi.
Now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I earned both my master's degree and bachelor's degree in aeronautical aerospace engineering. During my 21 years of service in the United States Marines, I served on multiple leadership capacities, including military police, military intelligence, intelligence chief, and operations chief, intelligence senior enlisted leader. I also worked for renowned corporations, including the Boeing Aircraft Company as a quality manager and lead auditor, and at Ford Motor Company, I was product development engineer. I'm married with 2 children. I have lived in Dearborn Heights for 24 years. As a volunteer, I continue to serve on multitude of advocacy and community service boards that allows me to interact and enhance the lives of children, young adults, veterans, senior citizens, and communities. Some includes President of the Ford Veterans Network Group, Commander of the Dearborn Allied War Veterans Council, Advisory Board, Fraternal Lights, mentor for Veterans Court, organizer for Toys for Tots.
Thank you.
That was quick.
That's what I'm worried about.
Miss Malinowski Maxwell.
Malinowski Maxwell.
Go ahead.
Hi,
You're
my
open.
name is, I'm sorry, can I start? Okay, thanks. My name is Denise Malinowski Maxwell. I am presently the chairwoman of the Dearborn Heights City Council, and I'm running for Dearborn Heights mayor. I'm not a career politician. I retired from AT&T as a project manager. After retiring, I volunteered for the community, giving back to Meals on Wheels, the PLAV, VFW, American Legion, various churches, and I do such things as the Ecorse Creek cleanup. One of my priorities as mayor will be supportive of police and firefighters. New research shows that police retirements are up 45% this year. Resignations are up 20%. As a city, we must do our best to recruit and retain our officers. Defunding the police is not a priority for me. I don't agree with it. My other priorities will be, I will continue working to alleviate the flooding problems associated with Ecorse Creek. I will keep Warren Valley as a golf course. Warren Valley is one of the biggest floodplains, and I will maintain it as a golf course to protect our homes from flooding.
Stop. I know it's hard when you're reading to be able to see. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know it's very difficult. So we'll maybe I'll chime in 10 seconds and if that will help.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now we will begin with the questions. All of the candidates will be given 1 minute to answer each question. And we will begin with Miss Malinowski Maxwell.
Okay.
Can you briefly outline what you hope to accomplish in the first 100 days of your term? And what specific talents would you like to recruit for your team?
First of all, we've been through a lot with COVID over the last year. I would first of all assess the whole situation and how it has affected our city as a whole. And at that point, I will bring in people necessary to make sure we can operate efficiently and get back to normal as much as we could.
Thank you. Mr. Bazzi.
Thank you. Well, since I was appointed mayor in January, I have actually an open door policy. I communicated my zero tolerance to harassment, retaliation policy internally and also for the residents. I prepared and completed our budget within 3 weeks. I advocated identified funds to keep Dearborn Heights Dispatch Center here in our city of Dearborn Heights. I corrected and all the previously missed FEMA grants and documents that were way long overdue for our residents that were victims of the flood. I extended our city hall hours, and we are working on senior citizens' upcoming community-friendly initiatives. We established an Ecorse Creek and Business Commission, and in the process of launching a youth commission. And I also started a business tour for all the businesses in Dearborn Heights to promote doing business in Dearborn Heights because of the COVID.
Stop, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, for the second question, Mr. Bazzi will go first. Here it is. What lessons have you learned from the recent flood? And what actions will you take once in office to avoid or manage the next crisis?
Well, since right now we're in the flood, we just had a crisis. Just been on the ground running since it happened. I have had my emergency manager on the road and myself, and also I have a city engineer that I brought on board to actually go through the whole entire city to see what there's areas in the sewers to see if there's any problems. So this actually gave us a good idea if there's any issues, you know, especially in people's backyards. They had sinkholes because they had some issues in their sewers, which is, you know, to their backyards. So we've held a lot of residents, you know, even from some of the issues that they had, you know, from, you know, old sewers that or drains that they had in their backyard. So one of the biggest things is we want to bring everything in-house, try to have our city engineer who's got 30 years experience as a chief engineer with the county, and he's doing everything he can just to make sure that make sure we clean up our sewers and there's no debris. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Malinowski, I'm gonna get it right one of these days. Malinowski Maxwell,
Yes.
you're next.
Thank you. We know Dearborn Heights floods, and we need to get a procedure together on how we will deal with it in the future. Depending on what degree of flooding, we should have different procedures. We need to encourage residents to keep their drains clean. We also need to educate them on who they can reach out to immediately when they need help, instead of looking at a basement that is flooded and trying to figure out what to do with it. I'm sure there's more efficient ways to remove rubbish than we have in the past. At this time, I think we need to look at options to prevent flooding in the future to the degree it happened. I don't think we'll be able to always prevent the flooding because that's Mother Nature, but we need to put something in order where we can take care of it when it happens.
Thank you. So on to question 3, Ms. Malinowski Maxwell, you'll be first this time.
Okay.
What steps would you take to create an environment that encourages cultural, racial, and economic inclusivity, including affordable housing options?
At this time, the city has many parks. I would encourage to have community events in these parks to bring the residents together in one common area. When Dearborn Heights was built, they have a lot of smaller lots because of the big parks that we had. That's the way it was set up for. As a lifetime resident of Dearborn Heights, I did enjoy those parks growing up in the programs, and it brought the community together in a way that was positive.
Thank you. Mr. Bazzi?
Well, since for the last several years, been even before council, some of the biggest things I was involved with is trying to get our community together, and been involved with the youth, senior citizens, and so you have to empower our youth to get to start them at young age. Get them together. It doesn't matter where they're from. Get them involved with the community and have them give back to the community. And I've seen a lot of success over the last 3-4 years, especially been on council and now mayor. I've seen some of the great initiatives that these youth are doing to interact with diversity, like I said, inclusion. Everybody's getting back together and doing things, and to better for the community, and just to get everybody involved and just treat everybody equally. And some of the stuff that for the housing for we have a lot of homes that up for to buy from Wayne County. So thank you.
Thank you.
It goes quick.
Yes.
It does. And I commend you guys for speaking on your feet, because you are not aware of the questions we are asking you. So great job. Question number 4, and Mr. Bazzi will go first. How do your background and experience prepare you to support Dearborn Heights' role as an ally and partner in a more racially, ethnically, and economically diverse metropolitan Detroit area?
Well, as I mentioned before, with my 21 years in service in the Marines, we're stationed, the 21 years, I've been all over the world. I've worked with so many different people, all ethnicity, religions, and we're like one person. They always, in the Marines, they say we'll all be the same. We're like, we're all equal. And with my leadership skills, I found a lot of things since I've been mayor, since January. I brought a lot of people together, employees, with the open door policy, just having a great environment for businesses to come in and prosper in Dearborn Heights. I've seen a lot of businesses now, they're more interested in opening businesses in Dearborn Heights, since in the past they weren't, and there was a lot of red tape for them. So I'm removing all the obstacles for everybody to come through here. Some stuff that I learned, throughout my military service, even before with my leadership skills. So that's some of the stuff that I have. Like I mentioned before, I have zero tolerance. I want people to enjoy the community, work together, and just have one community, one city, one people. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Malinowski Maxwell.
Let me read the question one more time. I'm going to look at it. Okay, first of all, working for AT&T over the years, I spoke with about every type of person you could imagine. Everybody had a telephone. They called me. They told me stories. I learned a lot about people over the phone over many years. Growing up in Dearborn Heights, I've watched it evolve into the city it has become today, because I came to the city with my parents when I was only 2 years old. So I seen the changes. I know what it takes to bring everybody together. I know part of the reason that people have not mingled as much as they could have is they have questions. They don't understand each other. If you can bring them together and educate them on what the different religions are and the different ethnic makeups and everything else, I think it would help bring them together. A lot of them are afraid to ask. And like I said, going back to the parks, if you get the children there to play, as I did as a child, that's where it begins, and then they take it home.
Thank you. We're on question 5, and Ms. Malinowski Maxwell will go first with this one. What is your view of the mayor's role in economic development?
My view of the mayor's role in economic development, that's a very good question. Haven't given it much thought. I guess this is hard to get caught off guard. I will work with, well, my main thing is public safety. I will work with the police department and fire to make sure they have the most up-to-date training and equipment to ensure the safety of our residents. I will do anything to make sure the city is vibrant. I'm open to ideas. If I don't know where to go, I know where to reach out for the help to make us the city we need to be.
Thank you. Mr. Bazzi.
Thank you. For businesses, our businesses are very important to the community. And since day one, I was appointed. I took on doing the business tour. I call it the mayor's business tour. We do 1, 2, sometimes 3 businesses a week. But with the flood, we kind of stopped it, for now. But in fact, today I just got a call from one of the businesses. We did a business tour, and they were thanking our office. It actually doubled or sometimes tripled their business because they had incentives for people to go to their business, offer senior citizens discount. So we've been doing this since the 2nd or 3rd week. The 2nd month I was appointed as mayor, trying to promote businesses in Dearborn Heights and let people know through cable, also Facebook, about the certain businesses we have in our city of Dearborn Heights. And it's been very successful. And for people to come in, and if they have a problem, they can come to my office. Any permits, anything they need, they can always come to my office. Thank you.
All right, this is the 6th question, and Mr. Bazzi will go first. What is your view on the quality of life in the city, and how would you promote green practices, public health, and other services that improve quality of life for residents?
Well, I love everything that you mentioned, and just all the stuff that we've done in the several years, promoting health, fitness, and also green space. We have to invest some money in our parks, and also our Richard A. Young Center. We have it's a gem, that facility. So now that we have some money that came in from the government, from the American Rescue Plan, I want to invest some money over there to promote people to come in and use the facility, and especially senior citizens, to improve their health. And this is something key to a lot of corporations. They want to promote health, fitness for not just the residents but employees, for healthcare, and just especially with COVID, we were on the ground running just to make sure that everybody got vaccinated. We set up like different areas where seniors can get vaccinated. We brought a lot of vaccinations to the city, and also we set up a hotline for seniors to call and let them know where they actually can go get vaccinated. Thank you.
Ms. Malinowski, Maxwell.
You got it. Thank you. What is my view on the quality of life in the city? We have our city is very, how can I say, diverse. We have a lot of good people here. We have a lot of good senior centers, parks. We have Warren Valley Golf Course where people could go golf, and it's just right in the neighborhood. Some of our seniors could even walk there, especially when they get older. They don't like to drive. I would like to see more programs at the golf course, actually after hours, like food truck events or fireworks, or even cross-country skiing would help get them out into something different that we don't have nearby to go to. Also, to educate our residents on public health and what's available to them. We've got a lot of resources out there and we need to use them. A lot of them do come to the senior events and educate our seniors individually.
Thank you. So this is question 7, and Ms. Malinowski Maxwell will go first on this one. There has been an increase in cars speeding down residential streets and also rolling through stop signs. What measures will you take to deter this behavior?
Well, I will meet with the chief of police. Matter of fact, we were talking about this last night at our city council meeting, how many cars he has actually impounded. They're getting a task force together to try and pull over as many of these cars as they can. And he said, unfortunately, a lot of these cars, even though they're very loud, they're factory built. So there's really nothing we can do. There's not a lot of aftermarket parts on them to make them that loud. And as far as the racing goes, I think the more expensive cars that we impound, and by doing that, that means they have to buy them back. They just don't pay a fine. So once you start doing that, I think the word will get out to just drive more safely, or you could lose your car. And who can afford to buy an expensive car twice? It's hard enough buying it the first time. We also have an issue with the stop signs. I don't know what we can do to stop that. People just roll through them. More tickets, I guess.
Thank you. Mr. Bazzi?
Thank you. And I actually, since appointed, I have met with the chief several times. We talked to a lot of residents with a big concern. It's a huge concern to me as well. I authorized the police to use a lot of patrols. We authorized them to incorporate some of the programs to do more stops and increase patrols in key areas where the residents are complaining the most. And I also authorized more tickets to be given to those who are, especially the aggressive drivers, reckless drivers, and also the people racing down streets, recklessly. Especially, a lot of seniors, they don't like to be out on the road, at certain times of the day because of these reckless drivers. So I did authorize our police chief, and a few days ago, he actually is going to increase the patrol. We talked about also putting speed bumps, and I'm looking at that possibility as well. I've talked to 2-3 other neighborhoods, a few cities, to put speed bumps in some areas that, and especially in neighborhoods. Thank you.
We'll move on to our 8th question, and Mr. Bazzi will start us off. What would you do as mayor to reduce air, water, and noise pollution in the city?
For the air, okay, noise, and what was the other one? I'm sorry. Air and
water.
Oh, water. Well, it's kind of interesting. Today we had at the city hall, there was some residents that were using water, tapping into, not supposed to be tapping into water, like bypassing the water meter. So this is wasteful. So we're looking at something like that. We're gonna I'm in the process. I actually authorized my engineer and also DPW director to put a proposal, since now we have a bond to buy water meters. We got to digitize them so nobody can do that. So we conserve water. And also for pollution, a lot of one of the biggest things that we have, people putting their stuff, outside with on trash days, and not using the containers. We're gonna do enforcements for putting trash in the bins like they're supposed to, since we pay, since the bins were paid for, and for noise, that's something we have. That fireworks. Oh, thank you.
Ms. Malinowski Maxwell.
Thank you. Yes, as far as noise pollution goes, our major concern is fireworks all night long in the loud cars that are racing, squealing tires, and with the factory engines, but they're very, very loud. I think we need to go ahead and get more traffic stops as far as, like I said, confiscating the cars and getting to the point where it's not so easy for them to race around or to light off fireworks. We need to be able to take care of that fireworks situation. It seems to be a lot of issues involving that in our city, and our residents don't like it. It was never like this when I was growing up. It has just recently happened where people can purchase their own fireworks, because years ago you had to have a firework display in your city and that was it. Individuals could not purchase their own fireworks like they do today.
Thank you. So this is the second to the last question, question 9, and Ms. Malinowski Maxwell will go first.
Okay.
Would you support a civilian oversight commission which has the ability to sanction and suggest or implement changes in law enforcement practices?
No, I would not.
Is that the end of your
I would not
response?
support it.
All right. Do you have nothing more to add?
No.
Okay. Mr. Bazzi.
Well, right now we have a civil commission that oversees, some of the law enforcement, especially the promotion, the hiring. So we do have already a commission in place. And they do, it's oversight with everything, the way they hire, the way they promote. And we actually talked to some of the residents that they wanted to create a separate, commission that on top of the commission that we currently have. And, that's some of the, one of the things that I was talking to our attorney, the city attorney, to see if we can do that. But, since we have a commission, it's already in place, then, we don't need one.
Thank you. So this is the last question, and Mr. Bazzi will go first. What role do you think active transportation, and active transportation means walking and biking, plays in the overall transportation in Dearborn Heights? Would you support implementation of a multimodal transportation plan?
Yes, I will. Actually, I've been talking to, well, we won't mention any names, but there was an advocate for that in Dearborn that reached out to me. And there's another resident, they actually moved to Dearborn Heights and they actually want to do something like that. I strongly encourage that because I like biking. I like to have bike lanes. And I want to encourage, people to get on the bikes and just bike throughout the city, enjoy the city. And also it's for health, fitness, and also gets people outside, will also slow traffic down. We get more bikes on the road. You take one lane for the bikes. And I strongly with that idea. I actually like the idea. And I was looking at that, a few weeks ago, talking to one of the residents who's an advocate for it. So I would be working on that here in the next, probably like 6-7 months, once we figure out what we're going to do with the money that we actually receive from the government, the American Rescue. Thank you.
Ms. Malinowski Maxwell.
Thank you. Yes, I do think that those are good ideas, especially the biking. Right now on Hines Drive, every Saturday, we are open till 3 p.m. for bikers. They close Hines Drive down in the Dearborn Heights area. And I do participate in that and I enjoy it. There's a lot of people. And during the weekdays when Hines is open, you still have a bike trail along the side. I would encourage programs. Maybe have groups get together. I personally have participated in the slow roll in Detroit for years, which is a wonderful thing. It was every Tuesday night, and just seeing all the people come together and talk about diversity. You see everybody from every walk of life there, and we all look around and we say, why can't everybody all get along like we can here? We never have had a problem. We ride through the streets of Detroit. Some of the neighborhoods are totally burned out, never had a problem. So I would try and encourage something like that in Dearborn Heights.
Thank you. That concludes the question portion. And so now it's time for the candidates to make a 2-minute closing statement. We'll begin with Ms. Malinowski Maxwell.
Thank you. As I said, I came to Dearborn Heights when I was 2 years old with my parents because they wanted a better life. Over the years, I have watched things being built up, and I've seen some of the stuff deteriorate. I graduated from Crosswood High School, and I'm glad that's still there, but my elementary school, Brainerd, is gone. It was torn down years ago. I do know a lot of the people in the community, and a lot of my friends still live here, and a lot of their parents still live here. And the ones that moved away, I find, are moving back to our city to help their parents in old age. We have an aging community, and we have a new community coming in of young people. So we need to take care of both of those. And there's many programs we can come up, starting with our senior centers to our parks, to cover both. At this time, I ask that you vote for me for mayor of Dearborn Heights. I will not disappoint you. Again, my name is Denise Malinowski Maxwell. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bazzi.
Thank you. As I hit the ground running since I became mayor on January 26th of this year, there's been more work to be done. Although I would be honored to be elected to continue my service as mayor of the great city of Dearborn Heights, it's not about me. This is always and has been about the people of Dearborn Heights. I would welcome the opportunity to continue working our excellent administration and the new team members and see our priorities to complete petition. These priorities include safety and services. I have identified funds to retool our dispatch center and firmly advocated for our center to remain here in Dearborn Heights. I remain committed to repairing our roads, improving our city services, and enhancing resources for our police, fire department, and to keep our neighborhoods safe. Community. I have been working with my team on the enforcement of ordinance codes and eradicating the longstanding blight issues, revamping our parks, widening the Ecorse Creek, dredge it, engaging residents throughout my recently established Ecorse Creek Commission, and increasing senior citizens program and civics services opportunity for our youth. Transparency. I remain committed to enhancing transparency and accountability in the city operations, documentations, and sharing records with our city council. I have an open door policy for our city employees, council members, and residents alike. I also provide a weekly update through Facebook, also my Facebook and city Facebook, working with my team to enhancing technology and communication to our residents and informing them and being engaged. I have been taking measures to attract and assist businesses throughout the city by
10 seconds.
Facilitating the process for investment and development while eliminating unnecessary obstacles. I have established the first of Dearborn Heights Business Commission and also the Mayor Bazzi's Business Steward to promote our local businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to reiterate that Anthony Camilleri had a very last minute medical emergency come up this afternoon, and he really regretted that he couldn't be here. But to conclude, the polls will be open on Tuesday, August 3rd from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Absentee ballots are available from the city clerk's office. Any eligible voter can request an absentee ballot. Please visit vote411.org and mi.gov/vote for additional information about the candidates and your ballot. Please vote in this primary election on August 3rd. Your vote matters. The two candidates with the most votes will move on to face each other in the general election on Tuesday, November 2nd. Lastly, candidates, we appreciate the commitment it takes to run for office, and we also thank you for participating in this forum. The forum has ended. Thank you at home for watching.